What up guys, TC here, as always. How are you guys doing? And welcome to the first FIFA 13 video on this channel by myself. And I'm using my Brazilian squad here, which we'll see in the second game. It's a compilation of highlights of 2 games in the Gold Cup. But I come across this incredible Bundesliga team of a seasoned Cruz, Ribery, Robben and a couple of informs thrown in for good measure. And I was going to be honest, I was not feeling confident at the beginning of this game. But I said I'll soldier on anyway, and some nice interplay between Diaz and Hulk coming up, and Hulk crosses it in. Very fortunate bounce, I think it was off Hummels, and a cheeky flick forward by Diaz, heading it on into the goal with Wellington. And Wellington is one of those players where you look at his, just a nice truck going by, really appreciate that. He's one of those players, he's a cheap striker, only 81 rated, but from my experience having used a vast array from... I've used Ibrahimovic, I've used Van Persie, I've used Rooney, I've used Aguero, Balotelli. He really is, really is a top player. He's got the pace which is needed in FIFA, because let's be honest, if you don't field a pacey team, you're going to be struggling big time. And his finishing is very good considering his rating. His positioning as well, his heading is pretty much an all-round player. And really, if you haven't given them a go, build a cheap Brazilian team, because they are very cheap, especially as we reach the end of the life cycle for FIFA 13. And give them a go. There's some cracking Brazilian players out there going for pennies, really. And just pointing out, this is a bullshit penalty. For I don't know why it was awarded, but I save it anyway, and I felt a bit of a victory. Anyway, a couple of minutes later, I get Ronaldo chopped, which opens Robben up onto his left foot. And, anyway, but that's not really what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about sort of the end of the life cycle of FIFA 13 and how quickly it drops off after the sort of the big leagues finish and break for summer. Sort of you've got La Liga, you've got League One, BPL, all that sort of stuff, and how it seems that obviously the number of players which are playing FIFA might have obviously dropped down a significant amount. Near post OP, always go for that if you can, guys. Obviously, since the seasons are finished, because people aren't going to try and replicate that goal at the weekend or whatever. But it seems to be the case that since this drop-off has happened in terms of usage of the FIFA 13, that EA has really neglected the servers, which they did anyway, because that was the sort of the quality of service which EA delivered throughout this game has been pretty poor in terms of its server performance. But before, I was trying to find a game for about 15 minutes in the Gold Cup, and it was nigh impossible. And then when I did manage to find a game, it was laggy and it was unplayable. It was like down to 2 frames per second. It was that slow. And it wasn't my PlayStation, because I had connected to the network fine and whatnot. Here's my Brazilian team, Neymar and Hulk on the wings, Marcelo, Maicon, all that good stuff. It's pretty much your bog standard Brazilian team at this stage of the game. Anyway, I come across this guy who, I just want to quickly make this point, is if you look at his team, it's not badly rated, it's 82 overall, but look at his chemistry. The importance of chemistry is huge, especially, I think they'll continue this into FIFA 14, that if you don't nail your chemistry, there's no point spending £5,000 on a player, for instance, because he's not going to perform to that £5,000 price value. But like Andy Carroll to Liverpool, bought for 35 million, his chemistry wasn't there, you know what I mean, but it's quite upsetting, and considering how large EA is as a company, why they aren't delivering this top-notch service to us consumers, considering it's not just for 40 quid they're getting for the game. People, including myself, have spent a lot of money on packs, FIFA points and all that. They are raking it in, and it's quite upsetting to not see them sort of return that investment within themselves to buy dedicated servers, so they're not getting spanked at high capacity times. They should be able to cope with those big traffic numbers, because they sell millions of copies of the game. Why not provide the service which are able to cope with those numbers? Anyway, Neymar with a lovely free kick. Didn't really score too many in FIFA 13. In FIFA 11 they were really quite easy, and they seem to have nerfed it in FIFA 12, another track to go by. Love living in the country. FIFA 12 sort of nerfed it, and it's carried on into FIFA 13 as well. But at the odd occasion, you do get them in. Um, but yeah, it really annoys me, and I was reading articles about how much EA is hated, and I was trying to feel sorry for them, but I couldn't. By the way, the use of a heavy thumbstick, which is an incredibly underused tool I see on online, because everyone's trying to skill, but a quick flick of that right thumbstick, and you're sorted. You're away from your defender, especially if you've got pace. But it really, I want to know your thoughts on it, because like I used to play a lot of COD, and obviously that's Activision, and I don't really remember. Obviously, there's lag sometimes, but I could always find the game. But when I started playing FIFA, these issues just crop up, and I think it's pretty unacceptable from a consumer standpoint. As I say, you're paying £40 for a game, you're paying more to get more out of it. So really, if you don't buy packs, you got to play a lot of games to earn those packs, and it should be the case that EA are delivering this, and I think it should be that next year, the FIFA 14 release, I think it's September the 17th, don't quote me on that, that they should be able to deliver this game, which is complete from the off, to have that server stability, because otherwise there's no enjoyment in the game if you're lagging all the time, and I just don't know. Anyway guys, that's the end of that rant, and we're closing to the end of this gameplay. I hope you've enjoyed it. There's been some good goals in it, some lovely through balls. Neymar is a class player. Wellington, as always. As I say, if you've not played with a Brazilian team, definitely worth a go, because they've got some brilliantly OP players, and I hate to use that term, but in order to be competitive, you've really got to be OP. Like David Luiz is an absolute monster, in his performance in the Confederations Cup. Was it the final? Was just unbelievable. Anyway, guys, I'll leave you with this. It's a lovely finish from Neymar, from Wellington from outside the box. As always, leave a video a like, a favourite, and a subscribe to get content from myself and Hoos with future Battlefield and COD gameplays. Anyway, that's the end of my video. Excuse the rant. I pretty much absolutely spanked this guy. You're coming to see these stats now. Anyway, guys, this is TC. Once again, like, favourite, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.